I, 25 male, refuse to forgive my family sisters, 33 female, 31 female, and my parents, 63 female and 60 male, until they pay me back my inheritance they spent on themselves. Context: I am the youngest of 3 siblings, and I am 25 years old. 33.3 degf and 31 female. My parents, 63 female and 60 male, run a grocery store that has been handed down through generations on my father's side of the family. My grandparents, both on my father's and mother's sides, gave me and my siblings each a $100,000 college/trust fund. My sisters all went through their money and dropped out of college. They both became single moms to my 3 nieces, 10 female, 8 female, and 7 female, and returned to work at my parents' shop. I was the only child who didn't work for my parents' company, since I worked as a gardener during the summers and after school throughout my whole high school career and saved up roughly $20K. I was overjoyed when I was admitted into college on a partial scholarship, since I believed I would be able to graduate debt-free and buy my own house by the age of 22. I asked my parents to give me access to the trust, just as my sisters did when they reached 18. I wanted to have control over the money, just like my sisters did. That's when my folks promised me we'd talk about it during dinner tonight. So my whole family, including my nieces, attended the meal. When it came time to discuss my trust, my father and mother asked if I would consider deferring access for 2 years, since they needed to utilize part of the money to fund some of their grandchildren's healthcare and living expenses, as well as pay off a lawsuit that my sister Gloria got for a DUI. When I questioned how much they spent, my mother responded there is presently $5,000 remaining in the account. So they spent $95K and none of it ended up going to me. My father said that all we want is that you consider your family and realize that we need your assistance with this request. I remarked, isn't it fantastic that this money helped everyone other than the person it was meant for? Gloria and Lori got to go to college and tour the globe with their money, but I had to pay for all of their faults with mine. My last words to my family were that this was not a request, that the choice had already been made, and that I had moved out and departed. I still went to college since I had a partial scholarship, and during those years I utilized the money I had saved to establish my own landscaping firm, which now employs 6 men and is doing well. I never got to spend any of the money my grandparents left for me because my parents never rebuilt the trust. When I submitted in a formal request to access the trust 2 years ago, my lawyer informed me that the current amount was $3,456.13. Less than the $5,000 my folks told me. My sisters and parents have attempted to reconnect throughout the years, but I've always resented every gift, letter, and invitation they have given me back. My fiancé wants to meet my family and help me closure this chapter in my life since I'm getting married next month. Because I haven't talked to them in years, my fiancé wants me to forgive and move on. But Reddit, am I bad for telling my fiancé that I'm sorry, but I can't go on from this? Update. Fiancé acknowledged to communicating with my family through Facebook Messenger, and they even chatted in person when she said they met in a restaurant. Happened around a month ago. Fiancé said that it was highly emotional. I informed my fiancé how upset I am that she hid this information from me for a month. Fiancé said she felt horrible and was reluctant to inform me because she was frightened I would break up with her and cancel the wedding if I found out. She didn't want to inform me until after the wedding. My mother, on the other hand, phoned her personally yesterday, pleading with her to assist me in reuniting our family. She has missed so much of my life, and she does not want to miss another wedding. Fiancé is aware that she has betrayed my trust and has offered me the most heartfelt and honest apologies I have ever heard in my life, as well as a request for forgiveness. Her parents even begged me to forgive her and not cancel the wedding. Her parents told me they loved me and hoped I could move on from this. Her father adores me. He even has a photo of me in his office. Only me and him law. For the last 2 years he has introduced me as his son. He sobbed, saying he doesn't want to lose me as a son. I had forgiven my fiancé. Sisters came to my shop with their nieces and were keen to communicate. Sisters sincerely regret their role and choices made on their behalf and want to be a family again. They understand my rage, yet they miss me and want me back in their life. My nieces also inquired as to why I no longer see them and whether I was upset with them. Sisters explained that this has destroyed our parents' marriage because it has now come out that my mom apparently spent the majority of the money without my dad knowing, And then when he found out, my mom wanted Dad to say it was both of their decision because she believes that if it comes out that she decided by herself and not my dad, it will destroy their marriage. That I would never forgive her and would disown her since I constantly accused her of favoritism. To be honest, she is correct. I would have disowned her. My mother begged my father to compensate for her choice to deplete my savings account. Dad was outraged, but he chose to explain that he and my mother had agreed to spend the money. Dad now resents our mother since he is estranged from his only son. He also hears from his friends about how wonderful my relationship with my father-in-law is. I dial FIL, Dad's, number, and he answers son. My father informed my mother that, until she addresses this, he is done with her, and he is giving me the truth. I informed my sisters that I love them and my nieces, and that I did not despise them. They did, however, assist in robbing me of a very crucial gift that our grandparents provided each of us, and I lost out on life experiences that they had and I did not. It's like though they took my final present from our grandparents. We all sobbed, and I accepted their apologies, but I told them I don't know how to let go of my hatred against them. I informed them that it would take time to reestablish our friendship. I requested them to schedule a meeting with just my dad and myself, without my mother. I had a one-on-one meeting with my father. My father was taken aback when I sought the meeting. He seemed dejected and requested to speak first. My father informed me that he is and has been sad for the past several years, and that he believes he actually failed me as my father, and that he knows he betrayed me, and that as a parent, he must carry to his grave the fact that he is the reason his son despises him. He said that he is incredibly envious of my connection with my FIL, and he then burst into tears for about 3 minutes. I informed him that I knew it was Mom's decision to spend the money. I informed him that although I understood why he didn't put Ma under the bus, he had badly damaged me by covering for Mom's choice for so long. I told him I loved him and that he no longer owed me anything. He has paid off Mom's debt. For about 5 minutes, we both sobbed and embraced. He was invited by me. That night, my sisters and nieces came over to my house for supper without my mother. I told my sisters and father that if they came to the dinner with my mom, it would be the last time we spoke. My mother evidently got out about the reunion without her and wanted to speak with me. I declined her request and urged her to bring a check for $100,000 if she wanted to speak with me. My wedding is on September 3rd, and I've already invited everyone except my mother. My sisters want to hear Mom's side of the story, and my father has said that he is tired of covering for my mother's choice. My fiancé is overjoyed and completely supports my choice, even though I know she wants me to meet with my mother. She's just been forgiven, so she doesn't want to push it. So, should I meet with my mother before or after she delivers me the $100,000 check? Now, look at some comments. Tell your fiancé you love what she is trying to do, but you were robbed of $100,000 and they ceased being worthy of the term family. When they come back with repayment plus interest, then reconciliation can begin. Why didn't you sue the trustees of the estate? You really should have. There is a lot of stigma against calling the law on family. I'm not saying that's a good thing, just one possibility. Hell, I'll say it, too many people dodge consequences through benefit of its family. If that money was truly intended for you, then they owe you that money. Have a lawyer look it over. Sounds like he's already severed all relationship with them, so I'd be all over calling in the authorities. She has tried and currently is trying to get me to soften my stance. Tell her something like, I need you to stop pushing regarding my family. I don't want them in my life. Period. You can either respect that and never bring it up again, or you can keep pushing, and we can put wedding planning on hold until we have gotten relationship counseling to address your unwillingness to respect my choices. This is actually a great idea. Get a lawyer.